So Southampton looking to rebound, Sunderland looking to keep pace with Birmingham City. Murray says Sunderland want to excite. I'll try to do so in soggy conditions on the south coast against the Southampton side. Stretched thin this afternoon. An early touch for Scar before an intervention from Bourne puts the ball out of play. The visitors looking to get on with things quickly. Watson making progress down the right and earning a throw, which Jessica Brown has come across to take. Brown will get it back here. It's a good turn. An interesting cross as well. Just about dealt with, but only temporarily. Before she was dispossessed. And Southampton can clear their lines. Simon Parker saying a point against Bristol City last weekend would have been fair for Southampton. They did have chances themselves before that late Lexi Lloyd-Smith winner. There's Atlanta Primus, part of the two-pronged attack for Southampton today. Like many players in WSL 2, spent some time playing in the United States in the college system, before continuing her career in England. Shiva. Pass one challenge. Just laying it off here for Fenton. He's looking for the run of Watson. Just a little overcooked with the long ball. And you can see the idea. To exploit the pace of Watson down that Sunderland right. Watson winning the header. We'll drop to Fenton in midfield. Now a chance for Atkinson to come forward. Primus. Peplo. Ali Hack, who made her debut last week against Bristol City, had to come off in the end with about 10 minutes to go with cramp. One of the changes that Simon Parker was forced to make, which meant he ran out of changes. And Ruby Ray Tucker dislocated her shoulder. Hack still getting up to full speed, having joined from Blackburn in the summer. It's her third spell working under Simon Parker. Clearly a player he trusts at the back. Bourne downfield. Strong header coming in. Michaeloni forced backwards before it's hoisted downfield by Simpson. Primus can pick up the loose ball. Shiva now. Striding forward. Watson with the cross in. Hack's clearance. And Primus fouled. Well, once again, in these early stages, it's Sunderland trying to exploit things down their right-hand side. Jess Simpson, the Manchester United loanee at left-back. Gamefully employed in these early stages. Well, looking for Brazil. Offside flag going up, I think. Well, the Sunderland head coach Mel Ray was absolutely delighted with that win over Durham last weekend, said it was terrific. A win sealed thanks to a brilliant goal from Katie Kitchen late on. Scar fighting for that in the air before Mock clears. Brazil just sending this back to Primus. Couple for company. Peplo back to Bourne. Simpson. Michael on the turn. Just a little wide of Ellie Brazil. Trying to put some pressure on the goalkeeper here. Ferguson backing up the press as well. And that's been stolen in midfield. Bourne just off balance. Shiva. Watson's early ball through, just a little off target. Both meetings between these two sides last season were won by the away side. Sunderland 2-0 victors back in January. Anna Dale and Katie Kitching on the score sheet that day. Here's Primus. A chance to turn, but a heavy touch invites the challenge from Greenwood. Shiva just back to Roberts, the Welsh international. Bags of experience at centre-half. It's been given away, though. Here's Brazil. He goes down. She's been fouled. And this is an appetising-looking free kick for Southampton. Fenton wasn't too happy with the decision. And she takes up a defensive position now. Well, Simpson has put the ball down. Bourne is there too. 4 in the wall in front of Grace Maloney's goal. Simpson eyeing this up and going for goal. Ball's done its job. Bourne's header keeping this alive. Flick it on towards Primus. Still in the air. Primus winning another header. Roberts putting her foot through it. Michael out wide for Simpson. Claims the ball went out and the officials agree. There's a long old trip for Sunderland. They did fly down. Long trip on the back of a heavy week. With that midweek game against Liverpool in the Subway League Cup as well. That's sent for Brazil to chase. Roberts scampering back. And has done enough. Fenton. Brown turning away from trouble. It's been snapped up in midfield and Peplo working this back to Hack. Here's Mott. Well, the last touch there came off Griffiths. Primus. Ferguson going down under the challenge, but no foul, says the referee. It's a nice touch from Shiva. And the ambitious ball into the channel. There's neither Vascar nor Watson, really. Well, Simons Parker's side have scored more goals this season than every WSL2 side but Birmingham. 8 already in the campaign. Disappointed by the outcome last week, where they had opportunities, particularly a 2-on-1 situation in the second half against Bristol City, in which a glorious opportunity was spurned with the scoreline at 0-0. Wants his side to be more accurate going forward. Roberts there ahead of Ali Brazil again. Maloney just about getting rid of that before Primers closed her down. Here's Mott. The only change in the side today, Millie Mott. 21 years of age, but plenty of experience. She's been with the Saints for 8 years and has got versatility at the back as well. Can play at fullback, can play at centre half as well. Claims of a free kick falling on deaf ears. Here's Hannah Greenwood. Atkinson the target out wide here as Scar plays it. Griffiths had continued the run, but it's not going to come through for her. Good defensive work. We mentioned the youth on the Southampton bench. There's plenty of young faces in the starting 11 as well. He's one of the youngest sides in the division. Mary Bashford in midfield, turning 21 tomorrow. Jess Simpson, 20 years old. Ferguson and Mott, both 21 on the right-hand side. Mel Ray has a bit more experience to call upon in her Sunderland team. Spirits high after a good start, a start that she'll want to keep going. Fenton. Grace Maloney, the new Sunderland #1 this season. That was a nice turn from Watson, but she just ran out of room. Good industry from Peplow. Mott. Peplow again. And to orchestrate things in midfield. That's a nice ball. And just a slightly heavy touch from McAloney, which invited Maloney to come off her line and snaffle the danger. We're just going to have a stoppage here with a injury for Scar, who appears to have come off worst in that aerial duel. And will need a bit of treatment. Sunderland will be hoping that this isn't too serious. She has been absolutely deadly so far this season, Emily Scott. 7 touches in the opposition box, 4 shots, 3 goals. Just a little bit of discomfort at the moment. And as with any sort of head injury, full precautions being taken. One chance for both coaches to issue a few instructions, and hasn't been too much goalmouth action yet for these fans to enjoy, but positive moments. It's the 3rd home game of Southampton's season already. A slightly lopsided start to the campaign. Their first game here at Silver Lake, though. Well, Scar, thankfully, is back on her feet and ready to rejoin the action once Ella Broad deems that she can come back. Well, having received treatment, she will have to wait, and both sides down to 10 players temporarily because of that clash of heads. Peplow just slotting into the Southampton backline with Tara Bourne on the sideline temporarily. Ferguson. Brazil trying to cut it back in field. Ferguson might get on the end of this. Shiva was just in a bit of bother. Bashford. Now Simpson. Scar and Bourne now back on the pitch as Mott brings this down. Looks to bring Brazil into play. And Greenwood can just see it out of play. Well, they're looking for her all the time, and you can see why. Now Watson could be away here. Certainly away from Simpson, who is trying to get back. Goes between 2 defenders. What a goal that is from Katie Watson. Superb individual effort to give Sunderland the lead. Well, the 19-year-old sprinted clear of one challenge, went through another, and found the finish to match as well. And Sunderland with an excellent start. Her first of the season. She's been lively down that right flank in the first 20 minutes. It's a lovely flick round the corner to find her. Having got away from Simpson, who wasn't getting back, and then Hack colliding with her teammate to open up the situation further. And it's a lovely finish from Watson past Stenson. Well, 19 years of age, but she made her senior debut at just 16. And that's a great moment for Sunderland early in this contest. Well, Simon Parker was talking about Southampton making individual errors that cost them last week against Bristol City. I wonder what he'd make of one defender colliding with another and trying to recover that situation before the Watson goal. Take nothing away from Watson. A fine run and finish. And the hosts need to find a response. Here's Scar. Dispossessed, but illegally. Challenge from behind. You can see Peplo saying that she won the ball. It's a challenge that's been deemed careless by the officials. Peplo back in the Southampton back line here. As the free kick is taken and wide, and it's a good ball in. Atkinson now takes on the strike. Ferguson will bring this down and take it away. Well, Sunderland with their tails up at the moment. Strong challenge coming in from McAloney. Won the title with Hibs last season. Their first season in England. Here's Brown. Fenton working it wide. Louise Griffiths. We'll get it back from Shiva. Well, it's good intricate play here from Sunderland. We're looking for Atkinson inside the fullback Mott there, but she was alert to the danger. Watson. Spring in her step. Sunderland starting to dominate the ball. And they found Scar in a dangerous area here. She was looking for the cutback. Might have another go. Watson now. Firing it across, and it's deflected behind. Well, again, that run into the channel. Scar this time getting on the end of it. Watson has been able to profit from those kinds of balls as well. They've earned a corner. Can they earn more? Lindsay waiting to make their run from the edge of the box. It's a good header clear. She was cross in. There's an awkward one and had to be dealt with by Stenson. Backpedaling, had to get a palm on that. Well, it was alert goalkeeping because it was looping dangerously. It will be another Sunderland corner. And this time, the 6-yard box is being packed. And it comes the in-swinger. Difficult to deal with. And from the edge, Brown has a go. Would have had to have got through a forest of bodies. Southampton with Mott trying to come away with it, but she's lost out. Strong challenge, a fair one in the eyes of the officials. Here's Fenton. Swinging it towards the box. Scar bringing it down, but then also committing the foul. Here's the moment a few moments ago, where Sunderland almost got themselves a second. It was Fenton, in fact, who brought it into the area. And it's a fine save in the end from Stenson. Not looking for the run here of Primus. Hasn't got quite the gas to get to that. Well, having fallen behind, it presents something of a challenge for Simon Parker, who talked pre-match about having to be careful in the way that Southampton progress the ball forward because of the strength that Sunderland have in counter-attacks. McAloney. Southampton not wanting to commit too many bodies forward, unless they provide opportunities for Sunderland on the break, but the scoreline in time may force their hand. On the home side, get a free kick here. McAloney dusting herself down. Well, the set piece offering a bit of an opportunity for Southampton to lay some pressure on the Sunderland goal. Well, the header's met nicely, but it's a fairly comfortable stop from Maloney. Hack was up there. It would have needed to have been some header to score from that position. And she's having to get back now with Griffiths on the charge. And this is the sort of thing Simon Parker was talking about. Not doing well to disrupt. And that's wayward from Peplow. Primus. Shunted to the ground by Fenton. Mott. Nice from Bashford, on by Primus. McAloney here with a bit of room to work. And the ball across finds Primus, and it's a good save. Maloney down well to meet the first-time effort. Well, Primus involved in the move early and could have finished it as well. Neat football from Southampton, the best we've seen of them in this first half. Shiva, though, as Sunderland come forward. Izzy Atkinson. First time ball in is a deep one. And met by Watson over the top. Well, Watson going close to getting her second of the afternoon. A breakaway which followed a lovely Southampton move. McAloney for Simpson into the middle for Primus. Maloney with a good stop. Well, it's been a lively encounter in the opening half an hour. An encouragement from Southampton in the last few minutes that they can eliminate the arrears. Roberts. Here's Shiva. Now Brown. Well, they were just squeezed out of it there, Sunderland. It'll be a Southampton throw. Hack. McElhenney was the target, but the intervention came from Brown. Primus. Hoisted high, Brazil chasing. Maloney claiming. Sunderland keen not to slow the game down. Roberts going long there, that's cut out by Simpson. Peplo back to a goalkeeper. Fenton picking up the loose ball. Roberts. Roberts back in possession and looking early into the channel. Well, she wanted a bit more from her side going forward. She's got it so far today. Says their defence has given them a good platform so far this season. Just the 2 goals conceded for Sunderland so far this campaign. Malray's side in a good position here. Looking for more with Watson and now Scar. Watson with McElhenney for company. Scar taking this on. Fenton's ball into the middle. Atkinson. Well, Shiva was calling for the layoff. Atkinson went for goal herself and just wide. Well, Fenton's ball in. Lovely work from Kitching to bring it out of the sky. Atkinson only had eyes for goal. Shiva clearly feeling that a ball back to her might have presented a better goal-scoring opportunity. Fenton again looking forward. Kitching. Good work from Hack just ahead of Scar. And Mott will let that bounce before Stenson can claim for Southampton. Peplo. And to Guardiola, I should say, in conversations with their teammates. Should be fairly obvious where that nickname emerges from. McElhenney unable to keep that in play. Roberts clears. Primus. Now Peplo. Atkinson with the interception. And Sunderland looking to pounce again. Moving this forward quickly. Shiva had made the initial run, but would have been offside if she'd gone for the ball when it was finally delivered. Born downfield. Brazil riding. Roberts winning it. And for a second time. Peplo taking over. Ellie Hack. Well, this will drop for Primus. Ferguson. Bringing Mott into this. Early ball in. It just wouldn't drop to anyone in a Southampton shirt. Another opportunity though. Mott from Ferguson. Ferguson back in possession now. There's a cross, cut out, but only as far as Mott. Shiva getting the better of that situation. Kitching wide. Brown. And that's good work from McAloney. And the Southampton fans want this going forward. Brazil. Primus ahead of her, looking to slip it through. It took a little deflection to take it away from the Southampton forward. Ferguson. Well, Southampton just having to reset. It wasn't on to go down the left for Ferguson. Well, the hosts have certainly come into the game after falling behind to that Katie Watson goal. Primus with the best of the chances they've been able to create. Sunderland remain a threat on the breakaway. That time the ball just a little bit wide of Atkinson. Bashford. Mott. Tara Bourne with the long ball. McAloney's onto it. Brown for company. McAloney still. There's a cross. Griffiths with the header away. And the effort over the top from Chloe Peplo. Took it on first time. Struck it fiercely enough, but the accuracy was lacking. Well, their side have been competitive today. Simon Parker says he's got a squad to be competitive in this division. What they don't have at the moment, Southampton, is depth. That's certainly showing on the substitutes bench. If Simon Parker wants to change things in the second half, likelihood is he's going to have to turn to a teenager or two. Injuries for the likes of Ruby Ray Tucker, the aforementioned shoulder problem that she's got. A prolonged period on the sidelines awaits her. Kira Senna out at the moment with glandular fever. Primus, now Ferguson. Trying to step inside Griffiths. Atkinson now helping this on for Sunderland. Kitching, stepping away from one challenge. It's a good break on here. Heavy pass for Shiva though. Plenty in the box to aim for. Shiva's ball in. This will drop for Fenton. And asking a bit too much of Watson. Well, a bit to think about at half-time, but I'll be pleased by the way his side have responded to going behind Will Simon Parker. Scar. Kitchen couldn't get a hold of that. Simpson's clearance. And she's won the throw as well. Fenton going high. Scar on the chase. And she's got there. Trying to help it in towards Shiva, but Stenson alert. Sliding challenge from Primus, but it's Shiva who comes away with it now. Fenton working it wide. Izzy Atkinson up against Mott. Can she do one-on-one? Into the middle it goes. Scar met it. But ahead of the near post, it's a difficult finish and it's wide. Well, just a reminder, if any was needed of her threat in this game, Emily Scar. Atkinson to drive to the byline and then send it across. That would have been some finish from ahead of the near post. Griffiths. Ferguson closing it down. Mott. And the referee has spotted an infringement. Well, the clock says a minute and change left in the first half, but we're expecting a few more minutes to be added on. There's still time for Southampton to restore parity before the break. Bourne with the ball in. Only with the punch. Brazil. And the strike coming in is still a little bit loose. And only off a line to claim. It's Bashford trying to hit that on the turn. Simpson. McAloney trying to get a toe in on that. Watson losing out. Primus trying to help it on, but too heavy for Simpson there. Sent high looking for Scar. Primus back doing some defending. Confirmation of 3 additional minutes to be added on. Greenwood with the challenge. And that's gone out for the throw. Well, hoping her side can retain the advantage to the break. Ray, who's been in charge since 2017, taken Sunderland into WSL 2. And her side on the break here, it's Kitching! And it's a good stop from Stenson. Well, Kitchen, who scored that fabulous goal against Durham last Friday night. And her eyes widening at the opportunity here. Taking a look up. Fierce strike. Stenson making sure her near post was covered. He's made a few good stops in this first half as Fran Stenson. Keeping an eagle eye on this corner now. And claiming well. Well, she wanted to launch the breakaway there, but she was impeded in doing so. And instead of giving the advantage, the referee has called it back for the free kick. Hack. Mott. Has it back from Peplow. He's born now. There's drop for Ferguson. Has some support from Mott. Brings it in field. Ferguson. Was she dragged down? She was. Griffiths with the protest, but Southampton in the dying stages of this first half may be able to produce one final act in their quest for an equaliser. Well, this is surely an opportunity to commit bodies forward. If it's cleared, probably won't be any time for a Sunderland breakaway. Simpson standing over it. She sent it into a dangerous area, and it's off the post and it's in. Sunderland protests, but the goal's been given. Oh, Chloe Peplow was on the line. It may not have been her final touch that actually took it over. But Southampton level just on the stroke of half-time. Sunderland feel aggrieved at this. Let's have another look. Well, Peplow there. There's perhaps a claim of handball. It might go down as an own goal. Whatever is eventually decided, the scoreline at the top of your screen is what matters. Southampton level. As Kitching tries to advance. And that's the last action of the first half, in which Sunderland took the lead through Katie Watson. An excellent individual goal, striding through on the right-hand side before smashing past the goalkeeper. But the equaliser coming just before the break. That free kick from Simpson, nodded down in the middle, clipping the post before Peplow, with the aid perhaps of a Sunderland defender, forced it over the line. Sunderland felt there was a foul in there, but the officials saw nothing wrong. So at the break, we are all square in WSL 2. It is Southampton 1, Sunderland 1. So in terms of forward areas, Simon Parker may need to rely on what he's got out there at the moment. He may have to dip into his under-21s, but may wish not to do that. And Southampton get us back underway. Buoyed by that late equaliser in the first half and looking to build on it now. Primus. Bourne looking downfield. Brazil in a challenge with Greenwood. Sunderland who come away with possession. Scar, 3 around her. Eventually she lost out and there's a foul in the middle as well. Fenton moving away from the vicinity. Well, just a reminder of how much Southampton need to look after Emily Scar there, just in the way that she was surrounded as soon as she claimed possession. Here's Peplo. Looking to sweep it towards Primus, just a little heavy on the ball across. Primus, who had a chance in the first half as well, a side-footed effort that was in the end saved by Maloney in a fairly straightforward fashion, but it came off the back of an excellent passing move from the hosts. Simon Parker's side have played some good football here. Bashford's header. Brown with the long ball forward, Mott chasing, and the goalkeeper left her to deal with it. Simpson back there. Scar might try and keep this in. Spinning out of play. Well, Scar let it run because she believed it was going to be a corner, but the goal kick is the decision. Stenson, who had a fair few saves to make in that first half. Second season at the club, having joined from Sheffield United the summer before last. Spells at Arsenal and Manchester City in her career, but no appearances in the WSL. Back with the ball at her feet now. Peplo. Oh, it's a nice move. Here's Brazil. And to lay it back in towards McAloney, who continued her run. Mott preventing Shiva from taking Sunderland forwards. Ball still in play. Shiva. It's off Atkinson for the throw. Simpson. Primus dispossessed. Here's Watson. No way past Simpson. Well, this is a meeting of sides that finished 8th and 7th last season, but they are much more ambitious than that this. Not least because of the opportunities opened up in WSL2 this season. Ferguson making the run. She's kept this alive, sending it across, and just a couple of inches ahead of Ellie Brazil, who nearly had a tap in. Might come for Brazil here. Brown tidying up at the back for Sunderland. That was an industrious run from Ferguson, nearly got its reward. Bashford. Now Peplo. Mott. Bashford again. Taking it on. Oh, Bashford's effort over the top. Scored a couple on her debut against Ipswich Town. Goal scoring's not necessarily what she's been brought in to do, but she can fire. But this was the chance that Ferguson had. Ferguson sending it across and just ahead. Novelli Brazil, you could see how close she was to getting a toe end on that. Any connection would surely have led to a Southampton second. Is Bourne. Taken down nicely there by Simpson, striding forward with purpose. Now met by Fenton. And Fenton with a good challenge. Well, Milray will perhaps have had a few things to say about conceding from a set play. Watching on as her side with defending to do here. McAloney. Now Mott. Working in field. Bashford helping out. Nice turn from McAloney. Ferguson. Peplo. Neat and tidy from Southampton this. McAloney. And a bit of a dead end. Well, she's claiming the foul, but won't get one. Scar in the air. Primus getting it back and able to burst forward here. Primus. Block coming in from Greenwood. It's a painful one as well. Just keep an eye on her and how she runs that off. Meanwhile, Simpson having it to Brazil. McAloney on the stretch, unable to keep it under control. Shiva sending it nicely forward. Here's Kitching. And she's won the corner. She's been heavily involved going forward as well for Sunderland this season. Katie Kitching, 2 goals to her name. Last season's player of the year. New Zealand international who was part of their Olympic squad last year as well. Readying herself to attack this corner. Fenton to deliver. It's a nice delivery too. And the header over the top from Griffiths. Here's Simpson. Bourne. Simpson getting it from Primus. Now Brazil. Bit of a miscue, but she's come away with the ball anyway. Bashford. McAloney just sending it for Mott. Now Peplo. Peplo's ball to the back post. Oh, Bashford made the run. Just couldn't get on the end of the delivery. That was a smart run from Bashford, who was left all alone. Here's Ferguson. Brought down, showing a bit of frustration too, Abby Ferguson. And Ella Broad just laying down the law. And it's going to be a yellow card for Ferguson for the reaction to Sunderland opponent. First booking of the afternoon. Well, Tara Bourne is standing over this. She's going to take it on. And it's deflected behind for a corner. Well, I'm not sure Sunderland were necessarily expecting that. Plenty of power behind it from Bourne. He's come across to take the corner. Fancy waiting to attack this at the back post. Fenton won the header, so it will be a throw. Possession conceded rather cheaply there by Southampton, and the pressure on Sunderland relieved. After a slow start, they really did come into the first half well. And it shouldn't be any surprise, they came into the weekend with the third most touches in the opposition box. They can and will put pressure on opponents, Southampton. Peplo going down, but no infringement in the eyes of the referee. Shiva. Simon Parker getting down low for, well, I was going to say a better view, but I'm not sure you really get one from down there. Just hearing that Rhiannon Roberts, by the way, was booked in the first half. I'm afraid I can't tell you what that was for. Simpson. Now Brazil. Roberts coming out to meet her. Now it comes to Primus. Thinking about the shot. And still going Primus. Just too many bodies in the way. Now it's Sunderland on the break. Kitching. Plenty of bodies getting forward in this attack. Kitching away from Bashford. It's a good ball into the middle, and Scar trying to get there. Well, it was such an inviting cross. And perhaps Kitching's ball deserved a little more. It was a good run initially. Twisting Bashford this way and that. And Scar just couldn't get there at the near post. Roberts with the challenge. And now with a chance to bring it down. Here comes Brown. Watson out wide. First time ball into the middle, which Bourne deals with. Well, Manchester United Academy product Tara Bourne. Made every minute so far this season. Well, this game so far, like many of the matches we've seen in WSL2 this season, shows just how competitive a league it's going to be. Scar trying to win possession here. Doing so fairly and winning the corner too. Well, she's engineered that out of very little, Emily Scar. Across comes Fenton to take the corner then. And Sunderland going short. Round into the middle. Shiva met it. Training ground move that didn't quite pay off, but it's earned another set piece. Fenton this time into the middle. Heads rising, Primus getting there. Well, Brazil thought it came off someone else, but it was the header of Primus that took it clear. Chance for someone to try and dig out another cross. That's straight behind, though, for a goal kick. Griffiths back to the halfway line. 9th season with Sunderland now, Louise Griffiths. Over 100 appearances, went full-time last summer. As everyone in WSL2 is full-time for the first time this year. Well, that's pinched by Ferguson. Snatching it from Atkinson, playing in Brazil, who just couldn't weave it round the goalkeeper. Maloney off her line, and now Sunderland up the other end with Watson. She's beyond Simpson. It's Watson! And Stenson makes the stop. Well, it's end-to-end at Silver Lake. Both sides could have been ahead in a matter of seconds. And Watson, who scored from a similar position in the first half, couldn't quite convert on the break in the second. Well, it remains anybody's game. Griffiths. Shiva. Shiva getting it back again. Peplo ahead of her. So Griffiths brought back into the equation. There's her cross, but an easy claim for Stenson. And then Griffiths with the foul. Well, Mel Ray's side might be in front again. Well, she's unhappy with something that the fourth official said to her. She might have been even more unhappy if Ellie Brazil had been able to just get past the goalkeeper. As it was, the break at the other end could have had Sunderland in front. Watson beyond Simpson, taking it a little wide. The angle was getting more acute all the time. And Stenson covering her near post. Here's Fenton. Brown. Trying to slip it through for Scar. Well, Sunderland making a change here. Izzy Atkinson is coming off, and on comes Mary Corbin, Academy product, who's got a very interesting backstory. Signed her first pro deal in February. So she only started playing properly in terms of football at 17. That's because she's also a world champion kickboxer. Her nickname, Scary Mary. We'll see how scary she is for Millie Mott. On that Sunderland left and the Southampton right. Brown. Shiva. Well, it's a good burst of speed from Corbin. And she's in space already. And still going Corbin. And Hack has to put it behind. Oh, there's an early impact. And Corbin now taking up a position near the penalty spot just as she prepares to attack the corner she won. Well, a lightning burst of speed. We're just going to have to wait for this set piece to be taken. The referee's unhappy with something going on in the 6-yard box. He's calling Brazil across. Brazil and Scar continuing to tussle in that 6-yard area. Stenson getting a punch to that. It would have crept in at the near post. Still danger not averted for Southampton here. Brown. And a firm clearance. Here's Primus. McAloney with time to turn and drive forward. Ferguson waiting for support. Coming from Mott. McAloney turning away from the attentions of Shiva. The Southampton move has broken down, and now it's with Scar for Sunderland. It's a strong sliding challenge. Well, Corbin stopped in her tracks there by Peplow. And she might get on the end of this. Hack on the cover. Hack having to keep an eye on the cross coming in. It's been allowed to drop. And corners the claim as Scar took the shot. And corner given. Well, this has been a strong few minutes for Sunderland here. They take advantage while they're on top in the contest. Fenton's corner, they've gone short again. It's Brown into the middle. Primus with the header away. Only as far as Mary Corbin. Shiva. Into the middle it goes and just allowed to drift wide by Stenson. Here's Shiva. Well, the stats will tell you that Southampton have had the better of the ball in the second half. But it is Sunderland with the only effort on target of this second period as they look to retake the lead. McAloney. Ferguson. Paplo for Millie Mott, who tumbles and wins the free kick. Couple of changes coming then. So Abby Ferguson is going to be withdrawn. Izzy Watts will take her place, one of 5 teenagers on the bench. And Millie Mott is also going to make way. So changes down the Southampton right with Megan Collett also brought in. Simon Parker wasn't sure that Megan Collett was going to make it after an injury last weekend. But he's able to call on her for the last 20 minutes or so as Isabel Watts, the 19-year-old, who came on last week to replace Collett, is now involved again. And it dropped to the substitute, but not before the whistle had gone for an infringement in the penalty area. Roberts just winning that battle with Brazil. Scar's header looking out wide, but it's picked up. Good work from Collett. Primus going down. Strong's challenge coming in from Peplo. Fiercely competitive out there at the moment. Collett now trying to help it through. She was being dragged to the ground, it seemed. And the free kick's been given. Green with the offender. I just wonder whether the referee has anything to say. Well, confirmation there's been a booking there. Seems like Shiva's been shown the yellow card for he dragged back on Collett. Southampton looking to exploit the set piece then. Testing delivery. Primus can't keep it in play. confirmation of that booking for Shiva. Brazil bundling over their opponent, and it's going to be a free kick to the visitors. Fenton quickly back on her feet. Primus with a sliding challenge on Griffiths that was a little late. Free kick given, and a yellow card swiftly raised as well in the direction of Atlanta Primus. Now Sunderland's turn to try and swing the ball into the box and do some damage from a set play. Launched into the penalty area, and Stenson commanding off her line. Booting it downfield as well. Well, bit of wrestling off the ball involving Mary Corbin there and Megan Collett. Referee spotted that. Free kick. Fenton disrupting. Wanting it back from Scar. And now sending it forward for the run of Kitching. Stenson, not for the first time this afternoon, quickly off her line. Collett. Primus back to goal. Shiva trying to show her a way towards the touchline, but she's done brilliant there, Primus, to keep this going. Had a play before it reached Ali Brazil, but it's a Southampton throw. Collett just being asked to come back a few yards. Well, still no telling which way this game will go. It's been an absorbing contest. Chances at both ends. Still plenty of time for one of these sides to win it. Block from Kitching. We may see another Southampton change in the not too distant future. Amy Goddard is warming up at the moment. Two centre halves, Hack and Bourne, have got through a lot of work. Hack had to come off last week with cramp and may still not quite be 100% fit. Firm but fair challenge coming in from Greenwood. He's having to scamper back now. Brazil. And Brazil's got there. Can she find a teammate? Oh, across the 6-yard box. And no one in red and white able to provide a finishing touch. Bourne. Just a little far away from Bashford. Macoloni. Well, Ali Brazil trying to keep a lost cause alive for Simon Parker's side. And he was honoured to take the job in the summer. It's a club his family support. He's locals of the area. And he'll be pretty pleased with the way his side have acquitted themselves. But it's Scar looking to change things here for Sunderland. And the ball across just ahead of Corbyn. Collett now. Well, she was driving forward with purpose and Corbyn caught her. It's a good challenge. Won't be too many, it seems, who'll win a foot race with Mary Corbyn this season. Collett's throw. She's going to move a few yards up the pitch, as you can see there. Amy Goddard, a former Sunderland player, who joined in the summer, set to be introduced against her old club for these final few moments. Not before Watson comes forward, though. She goes down under the challenge there that came in from Izzy Watts, and Watson responds in kind. A little too forcefully. Well, Southampton not ready to make the change just yet, so on we go. Bashford stretching. Kitchen claiming. Shiva. Primus putting her under pressure. It's worked nicely to Griffiths. Corbyn. Griffiths again, now Shiva. Peplow covering the angles. Kitching now. Corbyn. Arms up for offside, but not given. In comes Corbyn's cross. Strong header away from Simpson. Ball still in Sunderland hands, but given away to Collett now. On she drives. That's going to be a Southampton throw, but it's going to be a change first. Atlanta Primus is going to come off. Amy Goddard then will get a few minutes against her former club. Scored on opening day against Ipswich. Offing dropped against Bristol City. Comes into proceedings now. And she's going forward. Well, for a moment it seemed like there were two balls on the pitch, but that's been dealt with. Here is Goddard. The centre half playing at centre forward, looking to cause a nuisance, and the ball going towards her. Had to be dealt with and was by Sunderland. And a foul there. Well, this game hasn't been in danger of petering out. Both sides want a winner. Sunderland looking to keep pace with Birmingham City at the top. Led in the first half through Katie Watson right until half-time. Chloe Peplow's equaliser on the stroke of half-time. Here's what leaves us level. Corbyn. The whistle's gone. Well, their side haven't been able to carve out too many clear-cut opportunities in the second half, although Katie Watson had an opportunity which was well saved by Stenson. Just took it a little bit wider than her effort in the first half. It's been a second half of near-run things, crosses into the 6-yard box in which strikers just haven't been able to get on the end of them. Will something click for Sunderland or for Southampton in these final few moments? Here's Hack. Into the channel for Goddard, but Greenwood's there. Fenton. Round down the line. But that's been read nicely by Simpson. And then Brown with the foul. And Sunderland have another set piece to negotiate. There's going to be another change here, with Katie Kitching set to come off. And it's the 18-year-old forward Near Dunbar, who's made a handful of appearances in a Sunderland shirt, getting another few minutes. And first job, though, is to provide protection to the Sunderland goal. Simpson then. And the whistle's gone. Goddard went down. Well, it's not clear whether the referee wants the free kick taking again. Seems her interpretation was the infringement happened before the ball had been delivered. So Simpson can have another go. Collett. Watson able to get there. Brown. Scar. Once again, immediately surrounded. Dunbar. Well, if there are 2 or 3 around Scar, it means there must be space for others. Here's the cross into the middle. Dunbar trying to get underneath it. Brazil's header clear. Brown. Watson making the run, and it's come to her. It's a nice ball into the middle, and Stenson getting a glove to it. Corners the decision. Well, tension now rising for the Southampton fans. A late Sunderland set piece. Good run and find. Dunbar was the target of Watson's cross before Scar won the corner. And Stenson gets a punch to that. Watts should make the clearance. Goddard. We're expecting a couple of minutes to be added on. A couple of Southampton changes being readied as well. Chloe Peplow, who has been credited with that equaliser, is going to be replaced by Ashanti Akpan, the Chelsea loanee. We'll see out the final few minutes. Michaela McAloney also coming off. Esther Roberts will come into the midfield. 17 years of age. Third appearance this season from the bench. Another member of this young Southampton side. Sunderland coming forward now. The strike blocked as it was hit by Watson. Dunbar losing out to Akpan. Connor trying to hold things up. Time ticking away for either side to find a winner. Watson. Brown couldn't find her again. Well, Chloe Peplow has got the Player of the Match award from the home side. Not just for her equaliser, but for her continued industry in the middle. Plenty going through her this afternoon. Simpson working down the line. Scar's ball intended for Watson, too heavy and out of play. And just a bit of frustration growing with the visitors there as bits and pieces break down. Sunderland have got a throw. And they have to get on with things quickly now if they want to find a winner. Shiva. Well, that was cut out by Collett. Griffiths will have the throw. Dunbar. And now Corbyn bursting into the penalty area. It's Mary Corbyn. And Stenson holds on. And Corbyn and Stenson both bravely going for the ball. And they've been hurt. Well, they're both going to need treatment. Well, for a moment there, Corbyn looked like she might be able to win it for Sunderland. But it's excellent goalkeeping that's kept her out. Again, a burst of speed here. The touch slightly beyond her, and as she's tried to stretch to find the finish, collided with Stenson. It was the initial touch that took her away from the defenders, but also gave the goalkeeper a chance. Well, Corbyn is back on her feet and ready to continue. Whether she'll get back on the pitch before time runs out is another matter. We can't continue until Stenson is ready to do so. Well, she's had a very good game. Very little she probably could have done with the Katie Watson effort that beat her in the first half, but she's made some good saves throughout the match. Well, if it does end all square, it'll be Southampton's 5th point of the season, Sunderland's 8th. WSL 2 this season looks like it's going to be extremely competitive. This game has been a fine example of that. Very little between these sides. Well, Stenson's back on her feet. Southampton will be keen for her to continue. It's an academy product from the under-21s who's on the bench should she be required. Kaylee Prout, who's only very recently come back from injury herself. She was out for 224 days. Well, Stenson wanted to be happy with her knee, and you can understand exactly why. And well, is she going to be able to continue? Only a final few seconds of the game. She's going to have to tough it out because Southampton have used all their subs. Corbyn. Just want to throw. Oh, really no telling how much time is left remaining now. Injury time on injury time on injury time. Dunbar. Akpan going down. Home side have a free kick. And that is full time. Honours even between Southampton and Sunderland.